Bart Simpson, Springfield's mini-anarchist, has perfected the art of chaos, leaving a trail of destruction wherever he goes. From pranks to pure havoc, no one's safe from his wild antics. Here are his top 10 worst moments. Destroyed groundskeeper Willie's shed. Bart's people. The kids' news segment that was actually pretty decent, thanks to some behind-the-scenes help from Kent Brockman. In Season 9's Girly Edition, Bart's new gig as a junior news anchor made Lisa, his co-anchor, all kinds of jealous. Cue Lisa's sabotage, where she revealed Bart's little mishap. He had completely trashed groundskeeper Willie's shack, flooding it with creamed corn after Willie dared to confiscate his skateboard.
Way to go, officer!
The result? Poor Willie was left homeless, forced to live in the dump. Not exactly the family's proudest moment. Pretended to be a kid trapped in a well. Leave it to Bart to turn a simple prank into a town-wide crisis. In Season 3's Radio Bart, he got a nifty microphone that could transmit his voice over radio frequencies.
Drop it, boy!
This is a special report from Channel 6 News.
Disturbing news from the Old Town Well, where young Timmy O'Toole has apparently taken a turn for the worse.
It's very simple, Kent. The child is reverting to a feral or wolf-like state. Here's an artist's conception.
Naturally, he dropped it down a well and pretended to be Timmy, a boy trapped underground. The whole town rallied, desperate to save Timmy from his fate, until Bart's little prank spiraled out of control. Things got sticky fast, and Bart found himself on the receiving end of the kind of trouble only he could create. He kinda went a little overboard here, not gonna lie. Paralyzed his dad. April Fool's Day? In Springfield, it's practically Bart's unofficial holiday. In the 4th season, so it's come to this, a Simpsons clip show, Bart decided to up the ante, sticking a can of Duff beer into a paint shaker and handing it to his dad.
That sounded like an explosion at the old Simpson place.
Forget it, that's 2 blocks away.
Homer popped the can open, and boom, a mini mushroom cloud of beer foam sent him straight into paralysis and a coma. It's safe to say this prank went from funny to terrifying in record time, and Bart was left to deal with the consequences of his innocent April Fool's prank gone way too far. Threw Lisa's Thanksgiving centerpiece into the fire. In Bart vs. Thanksgiving, the Simpsons family finds itself at odds during what should be a peaceful holiday. Lisa spends hours crafting a beautiful centerpiece for the Thanksgiving table, pouring all of her artistic energy into it. When she proudly unveils it to the family, they briefly admire her work, until Bart barges in, complaining that the centerpiece is taking up too much space and blocking the turkey. A squabble breaks out, and in the chaos, Lisa's masterpiece is tragically shoved into the fireplace.
Speaking of heroes, here's mine. Tom Turkey!
Oh, yikes! What is that? It's the centerpiece, Bart. Well, it's taking up valuable real estate. Let's go! I worked forever on this!
And reduced to ashes. The family is livid, with Marge going so far as to declare that Bart has ruined Thanksgiving. In a bid to salvage the holiday, Bart is given the chance to make things right if he apologizes to Lisa. However, Bart, ever the stubborn troublemaker, doesn't see what he did wrong. Instead of apologizing, he decides to run away from home, hoping that his absence will make the family realize how unfairly they've treated him. His little rebellion doesn't quite have the intended effect. Most of the family is unmoved by his disappearance, and when he returns home, he's met with ridicule. However, Lisa, surprisingly, is the only one who takes a softer stance. She convinces Bart that he truly messed up, and after some reflection, he finally apologizes. The siblings reconcile, proving that even in the midst of holiday chaos, a little heart-to-heart can set things right. Was Bart treated unfairly here? Well, if you think so, wait till you see what he did next. Ruined the family's Christmas. Bart's holiday spirit might be the most chaotic of them all. In the Marge Be Not Proud episode from Season 7, Marge lays down the law. Bart can't open his Christmas presents until 7 a.m. Bart, of course, can't help himself and decides to open them early. But things take a turn when, in his excitement,
List-wise. Oh, yeah. Cool. Uh-oh.
he accidentally sets the entire Christmas tree display on fire. Thinking fast, he manages to put the flames out and hides the evidence under the snow before the family wakes up. When they do, Bart spins a wild tale about a burglar breaking into the house and stealing all their stuff. This lie sets off a whole town-wide search for the phantom thief, but it doesn't end there. The town, feeling sorry for the Simpsons, raises $15,000 to replace their stolen goods. The family naturally is thrilled, but Bart can't escape the weight of his guilt. Eventually he confesses, but it's too little too late. As Kent Brockman rolls up to film a feel-good human interest piece, the charred remains of the Christmas tree are discovered. And the whole town turns on the Simpsons. They're branded as liars, their newfound wealth exposed as a fraud. Unable to repay the money or win it back on Jeopardy, the town takes matter into its own hands. In an act of ruthless retribution, the citizens of Springfield storm the Simpsons' house and strip it bare of all its valuables. In the end, the family is left with only a single sad washcloth. A perfect reminder of the holiday disaster Bart set in motion. Stole the head off the Jebediah Springfield statue. Back in the early days of The Simpsons, when Bart took pranking to the next level, literally. In one of his boldest stunts ever, Bart decides it's a great idea to cut off and steal the head of the statue of Jebediah Springfield, the town's beloved founder, all to impress the local school bullies. Classic Bart, right? Except even for him, this prank goes a little too far, leaving him with some serious regrets. Surprisingly, he does the right thing for once and returns the head.
To do what I think you're doing.
Sorry, man. It's either you or me.
You know, Bart, you don't have to found a town to be a hero. Sometimes a hero can be a young boy with the courage to stand up and admit he's made a mistake.
Yeah, well, I'm running a little short on courage right now.
Giving the Springfield mob a piece of his mind in the process. For a moment, Bart kind of became a hometown hero, even if his heroics started with a major blunder. Framed Jimbo for his prank calls. If there's one thing Bart Simpson does best, it's prank calling Moe's Tavern. The boys turned it into an art form, tricking Moe into calling out ridiculous names that keep the bar roaring with laughter, and Moe seething with rage. But in the episode New Girl on the Block, Bart's classic pranks get a twist when he tries to get back at Jimbo, the guy who's stolen Bart's new crush right out from under him. So Bart tattles to Moe, pinning all those prank calls on Jimbo, which naturally has Moe ready to go full Rambo on the poor kid with a knife.
Hey, just a sec, I'll check. Amanda Hug and Kiss? Hey, I'm looking for Amanda Hug and Kiss. Why can't I find Amanda Hug and Kiss?
Maybe your standards are too high.
Little SOB. If I ever find out who you are, I'm gonna shove a sausage down your throat and stick starving dogs in your butt.
My name is Jimbo Jones, and I live at 1094 Evergreen Terrace.
Aha! Big mistake, pal. Oh, I knew he'd slip up sooner or later. Ah, yes, Rusty and Dub.
Things quickly spiral. But hey, that's just Bart learning the hard way that revenge can bite back, especially when it involves rage-filled bartenders. Got Santa's little helper addicted to cigarettes. When it comes to scientific curiosity, we all know Bart's never shy to get in on the action, even if his experiments are a little questionable. In the Duffless episode from Season 4, Lisa takes the honorable route and presents her genetically altered giant tomato at the science fair. Then there's Bart, who decides to test the effects of Laramie cigarettes on animals.
Bart! Have you started smoking?
No, I thought I'd investigate the effects of cigarette smoking on dogs.
That's my boy.
His test subjects? None other than Santa's little helper. That's right, Bart gets his loyal dog hooked on smokes in the name of science. Of course, his neglect of the dog's well-being is just one of his terrible actions in this episode, but it's probably the most irresponsible. and one of the worst things Bart's ever done in the name of curiosity. Infected Australia with bullfrogs. If Bart was aiming to cause international mayhem, mission definitely accomplished. In Bart vs. Australia, Season 6, Bart's prank call to Australia turns into a diplomatic nightmare for the Simpsons family. What starts as a phone prank to rack up a colossal telephone bill soon leads to the Simpsons traveling to Australia to apologize for Bart's antics. But here's the kicker. While in Australia, Bart releases a bullfrog into a fountain at the airport. And it doesn't just sit there. That one little frog starts multiplying like crazy, spreading across the country.
Yep, on the way home.
Hey, look! Those frogs are eating all our crops!
And wreaking havoc on the local ecosystem. Kind of like how cane toads ravaged Australia in real life. Bart's thoughtless move actually caused severe environmental damage. But did he care? Nah. He just made sure to get a good laugh out of it before the consequences even hit. Classic Bart. Who cares if Australia's whole ecosystem is toast, right? Almost killed Martin Prince. Bart's pranks have a habit of taking a seriously dark turn, and one of the more chilling moments happens in Dial In for Nerder from Season 19. In what starts as one of his typical pranks, Bart knocks Martin Prince off a cliff.
You're one of the major. Get it! Martin! Oh my god! Grab onto this! Come on, wake up!
Sure, it wasn't his intention to put Martin's life on the line, but that's exactly what happened when Martin tumbled off a ledge. Lisa, the responsible one in the family, only made matters worse by pushing Martin further down the cliff. But Bart, instead of taking responsibility, he pretends like he had nothing to do with it and ignores the situation entirely. Thankfully, Martin survives the fall, but this whole disaster is one of Bart's darker moments. No lessons learned though. Just another day in the life of Springfield's most notorious prankster.